Welcome to the next episode of the eCom Growth Show. I'm your host, Danan Coleman. With me, I've got Ganesh. He is in a very unique business in that he does 3D renders and 3D models, and that is all he does. So, Ganesh, welcome to the show, and thank you very much for being here. Tell us about yourself. How in the world did you get to where you are today to start this company?
Cheers. Yeah. So I guess there's a bit of context. So I'm the chief operating officer of 3dimages.ai, and I guess my background and journey. So I'm 24 years old, if you can't tell already from my voice. But I've been working in the e-commerce space for the last 5 years. I started selling on Amazon when I was 19 and created my first brand, which went well. But I got really interested in AI during the early stages of ChatGPT, and eventually I built a Gen AI Chrome extension for Amazon sellers, which was like analyzing Amazon reviews. And looking back, it was basically Mark One of Amazon Rufus, which no one knew about because I was just a terrible marketer. But which I guess it was something I was quite proud of. But I managed to exit that startup, and I worked for 2 years as a software engineer. But last year, I kept networking in the Amazon space, and a few Amazon operators shared a really interesting insight that virtually most products in the next 2 to 3 years on Amazon will have a 3D interactive model, and it will become a new industry standard. So, yeah, we spent the last year looking at how 3D models affect everyday products, and our insights are pretty cool. And yeah, we just created the business which just creates these 3D models at scale, particularly for Amazon sellers. And yeah, we're just going around educating people in the space and sharing our thoughts.
All right, good. Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about this because I know that you if you have a 3D render and you've got dimensions, you can look at it through AR on your phone and see that couch, that thing on your tabletop in your living room, etc. So, is it safe to say that that's one of the things or one of the aspects of what you're able to do is people can use this to look at it in their table, zoom in on it, see features and benefits and stuff like that?
Yeah, so that's kind of the use case that's quite common around Amazon right now. So if you have like a sofa, or I know Amazon have virtual try on for sunglasses or for trainers, that's the common use case, right? But
For
what
those of you in America, trainers are shoes, running shoes.
trainers, sorry, yeah, sneakers, I mean, sorry about that. But yeah, but that's kind of the common use case we've seen with Amazon sellers already, but that's not where the opportunity is. And what a lot of people don't realize is they have access to this feature on everyday products like water bottles. I could just pick stuff in my room, and there's
Yeah,
deodorant cans right here, and you can
yeah.
actually create a 3D model of these things. And that was my job, to discover how 3D models of everyday products actually affect your set.
Okay.
And yeah,
So
that's kind of our focus.
I like it. So we sell supplements. Would you suggest I create a 3D model of that?
Absolutely. And I know it sounds a bit crazy. Like, why do I need a 3D model of a supplement? It doesn't have any functional benefit. And you're right, it has no functional benefit. However, what happens when they click view in 3D on your listing? If you have a view in 3D button on your Amazon listing, what does
Yeah,
that mean for your supplement, right? So
yeah.
if you're getting, millions and millions of impressions or thousands, I don't know how well your brand is doing or whatnot, but if
Me
someone
neither.
clicks, yeah, I mean, if someone like clicks on view in 3D and they're spending 10, 20, 30 seconds spinning around and zooming in and stuff like that,
Yeah.
that extra dwell time and the engagement is so valuable to Amazon and your Amazon listing. You scale that across thousands and thousands of people who are clicking it, you're getting hours upon hours of people spending time on your listing, and more time on
That
your listing is something
is
that's so valuable, right?
that is a damn good point. I don't know why I didn't think about this and talk to SEO experts in the space, but Google has something called your bounce rate. That's where somebody basically clicks into your website and then they leave without going to any other pages or anything like that. And so one of the ways that you develop SEO juice, as it's called in the space, is by time spent on page or time spent on website. It makes perfect sense to me. Now that you've said that, I cannot believe haven't made this connection of dwell time on the page being an important factor.
Yeah.
Man. All right. Well, shoot. Looks like I'll be doing some 3D renders with you just after this episode. So, what does first question, which is actually not a part of my list of questions for you, what does somebody need in order to create a 3D render? Is it just pictures of all aspects or a video or what?
Yeah, so we wanted to make it really, really simple. And for us, generally, we have a system where we use AI to quote your product. So obviously getting a 3D model it is generally very difficult. And It varies heavily on complexity. So something like a handbag is super complex. It's got zips and fabrics. So yeah, we'll need images from all sides, dimensions, maybe even stuff inside the bag. And yeah, you can just send that remotely, and we'll be able to create a 3D model. And yeah, that's pretty much the requirements in a
So
nutshell.
so I don't even need to send you the product. You don't have to put it into a laser, machine that gets dimensions and the texture and all that stuff. We don't need any of that. I just send you photos.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much photos,
That's
and that's it.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. Dude, I think it would be really cool. Once I spin this up, I'm gonna be doing another channel. I'm debating on whether I do it here on the Ecom Growth Show or on a brand new channel, but basically doing like these little mini master classes where like, hey, let's take a product. I've got a pair of sunglasses right here. Let's do it live and where you actually show the process. Would you be interested in doing something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not the 3D designer myself, but yeah,
Cool.
like the showing the process of how, because we make it really, really easy. So you can literally type in, describe your product. So like you can write sunglasses, then you can literally type in our website and it will estimate how complex it is. And it will just give you a straight up price and you can just pay for it straight away. So in the past, when you wanted to get this, you'd have to go on Fiverr or Upwork or whoever. You'd have to send it to them and be like, how much is this going to cost? And then they're going to say something three times what you expected. Then you have to negotiate down until you're happy with the price. And what we're seeing now, especially in the agency world, there's so many of these AI native agencies where a lot of these processes like quoting and back and forth with the client are now being automated with AI. And that's really where we're sitting, because we want to make these at scale, whether you have 1 3D model or like 1,000. So
Love it. All right. Well, let me dive into the questions I've got prepared for you because you're going to have some incredible data here. So, we already covered one of these things, and that's dwell time on your page. But you're working closely with Amazon directly, and they want 3D models on their platforms. But what do sellers need to know in order for them to make the decision to invest in doing that?
yeah, this is a good question. So with regards to Amazon, we are working with them directly through the SPN network. And obviously we've gained so many insights about like, oh yeah, we literally have boosted conversion on a massage roller or a supplement, for example. They want to know and they want to know what we've found and for them to educate their audience. And so we talk quite a lot with them. And the basis of where we built our business was actually from people in Amazon and their insights about 3D. So essentially what they're saying is, so the industry giants like Amazon, Walmart, Temu, TikTok, they're all competing one thing. They want shoppers to stay on their app, right? And right now it's just a massive war for attention. So for
Yes.
example, Amazon already rewards brands if you drive inbound traffic to their platform, right?
Yes, which they used to do the opposite, but
Yeah.
yes,
Um,
they finally figured that one out.
Exactly. So once you've got once you've got shoppers on their platform, on your listing, what's the best way to keep them on the Amazon app? And they told us one of the best ways they told us is 3D models and AR, because it's such a cool feature. Are people gonna want to look at it in their room or play around with it? And it's an attention trap.
Yeah,
And sellers should also know that, yeah, it's boosting conversions for almost every brand that uses it. And, beyond this, it's actually fixing another massive problem for Amazon, which is obviously product returns. So
right.
when you let a customer see a product from all angles, less people are going to click, oh, the item wasn't as described. So this excuse is basically massively reducing returns for Amazon. And that's why they're pushing it really, really hard.
Yeah, that's interesting. I did another episode of with another company that does 3D renders. I need to find it real quick. But in that they had a number. It was like 3 to 8% or something along those lines where if you had these, you actually saw an appreciable boost in your sales. Episode 19. So they said the same thing. So you're just basically backing that up. Like, but they didn't get their data from Amazon, as far as I know. You got your data from Amazon. So that's straight from the horse's mouth, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like they released this, like they hinted it more, like because I guess Amazon are really picky with their data.
You don't
They
say.
yeah, they told this to everyone. They said if you have a 3D model on your listing, you basically are a customer is twice as likely to buy from you just purely from the engagement. You know, what's the saying? It's like you have less than 10 seconds to convert a customer or get them to stay on your page. So now if you click like view in 3D, you've now given them extra seconds, and
Yeah.
everyone's competing for seconds, right?
Yeah.
So view in 3D is just another one of those things in their arsenal to do that.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. When it comes to stopping the scroll, you have less than 1 second. It's actually fractions of a second in order to get them to stop and even click. So yeah, having people spend time on your listing, unbelievably important. So I'm going to go on to my next question here, and that is, what does the future of shopping look like for interactive shopping?
So one cool thing about working with 3D models is that it is really the input for all things interactive shopping. And I guess one thing that everyone needs to know is that AI search generally is going to change the shopping experience in the future. And it's going to change it by commoditizing your product. It's going to just be like, you're going to look the same in terms of the keyword output and what the AI outputs. Essentially, getting website traffic is going to be more and more difficult and expensive. And as more brands are using AI images and product to write their product descriptions or titles, everything is just going to look similar. So in the near future, interactive shopping is going to become one of the best ways to keep people on your site when they arrive. So what we're seeing now is tons of development with virtual try-ons and 3D animated Shopify storefronts. So you can try on high-end jewelry. So you've got rings, bracelets. I've seen now there's development with earrings as well. So there's on your phone, it only tracks your face, but there's nothing that tracks your ears. So there's certain companies that track your ears, so you can wear earrings and
Wow.
piercings and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going crazy. And yeah, like skincare products as well. They like 3D exploded animations. And yeah, even Facebook and Instagram ads are even evolving to use virtual try-ons. I don't know if you've seen the Ray-Ban Meta virtual try-on ads, and you can virtually
No,
try on the sunglasses on Instagram. But
really? No, I haven't.
and yeah, the cool thing is Amazon have actually already mastered this. And if you go to shop for clothes or t-shirts, you can upload an image of yourself, and it will use AI to put your t-shirt on you. And they've done
Huh.
the same with makeup
Yeah.
as well. So you can try on different shades of makeup. So yeah, like I
Interesting. That
think
makes sense. I stopped wearing makeup a little while ago, but yeah, but no, that actually is awesome because you can look at yourself, a picture of yourself, and then figure out which one looks best on me. It makes sense also with clothes, sunglasses, hats,
yeah.
you know?
Of course, yeah, and yeah, like we're really at the tip of the iceberg. There's so many virtual try-ons, and you know, in the future, brands are going to have better access to these tools, and they're going to be a lot more cheaper. So I think it's really important for just generally everyone to get familiar with interactive shopping and just see what features, because you might even have something for supplements. You never know.
Yeah.
It's good to just see where the innovation is, and yeah.
Cool. That's very cool. Those sliders for TVs, it's like, hey, 4K versus 1080, you can grab it and it shows a more pixelated version and a clearer version. I could see that for topical skincare, like your skin before and after 3 months of using our product or whatever.
Yeah, funnily enough, I do think that's I don't know if that's
That a
already
thing
available.
already?
I don't know. I know there's virtual try on for skincare, so you can, yeah, upload your picture of your face and it'll put the skincare on you and stuff. And you can like test your skin pigmentation and stuff like that. It'll recommend you a product. There's so many crazy things
That's
that's coming up.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next question, and this is a really interesting one. We've gone over the fact that you can put a 3D render in, you can do virtual try on, you can do augmented reality and put that couch there, that vase, whatever, plant, etc. But what else can brands do with 3D renders, 3D models?
So yeah, so this is I'm probably going to drop a little secret to what
Okay.
the design tools are creating right now, and I guess it's one of the hottest use cases for a 3D model. So I
Okay.
don't know if you've used Adobe Firefly because you'll know what I'm talking about. So
I've used it like 3 times, inside of Photoshop though, so it's like it's not the standalone.
yeah, no, it's a brilliant tool. So what you can do is you can use a 3D model natively on Adobe Firefly, and you can use it as an input for AI lifestyle images. So think about it
Oh,
right now. People are using AI to create lifestyle images by uploading a 2D image of their product from one angle, right? but the 360 a 3D model shows your product from all angles. So it's every single angle 360. So when it creates lifestyle images, it will be able to do front, back, side, from the top, from the bottom, and your lifestyle images actually become so much more better, clearer, and way just way nicer in general. And that's one of the hottest use cases for it now. And I guess the other use cases is yeah, you can create like cinematic animation, so like exploded diagrams. So if you ever see like the
Man, that'd be
iPhone
cool.
advert, yeah, if you ever see the iPhone adverts where it has like a little drop of water on there and you can
Yeah.
explode and see the battery. So you can do really cool things with your product in that sense. And yeah, I think those are the main those are the main use cases with what you can do with a 3D model.
Okay, well, that makes sense. I have to say that I have some understanding and capabilities to do work in the Adobe ecosphere, but what you just said feels like it's over the top of my head, right? So I'm opening up Firefly right now. Oh, there's a video editor as well. You can do generate speech, soundtrack. Okay, very interesting. All right. I'm not going to do this on our podcast because we have limited time for this, but let's oh, you can even choose your AI model. That's interesting.
It's got a ton of features. But you can import a 3D model and yeah, you can play around with it maybe after. But it's really
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Okay, but to continue what I was saying, this sounds over the top of my head. Let's just say I'm using these sunglasses here, right? Are you saying that I can upload an image of this into Firefly and then have it explode? Give me an exploded view of it?
Yeah, so you can upload that 3D,
Dang.
or you can upload the 3D model file to Adobe
Right,
File.
okay. Yeah.
And obviously, it's got video generators, and you can say, look, make it explode. And yeah, it should know 360 context of your product. So obviously, if
Right.
you're just going to upload an image, it's only from like one angle, but it's going to know every single angle and it's not going to hallucinate. It's going to be a lot more better quality. And yeah,
Dang. All right, I'm gonna play with this. Okay. Well, let's go on to the next thing here. I'm quite excited to hear what you say about this. You've already mentioned that there is a from data from Amazon, there is an appreciable and documentable increase in conversions when you have 3D models on your website. And this is not I mean on your Amazon listing. And this is not the first time that I've heard this. But do you have any interesting case studies that you can share with us?
yeah. So this illustration is probably the easiest way to understand the conversion. So we worked with a foam roller brand called
Mhm.
Mogo, and I guess everyone thought they had the perfect hero image, the A plus content, and videos, but all their competitors basically had the same thing. Like hero image, it's really hard to differentiate a massage roller. They all kind of looked
Yep.
copycat, right?
Yep, yep.
And so we actually just added a 3D model and just watched their conversion rate, and it jumped from 3 to 7% in the first month.
Dang.
Yeah. And the crazy part is when we looked at the top 10 bestsellers in their category, only two of them had a 3D model. So what we're finding is that when you introduce a 3D model into the market, the dwell time and the engagement obviously boost conversions, and then it boosts the product organically in the searches, and over time it just gives you a massive competitive edge. And the more times your competitors don't have it, the more time your sales are gonna multiply. And we've tested this on products like toys and supplements, and the conversion uplifts have been on like a minimum of 2%. So
I
it's
mean,
quite
hell,
insane.
that for a lot of people, that's a doubling.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. Okay, last question here. Let's say Amazon someone is selling on Amazon for the first time. What can you tell them that's gonna help them beat the competition?
Yeah, so if you're launching on Amazon today, you can easily use AI tools to handle your hero images and A plus content. Facts. It's just extremely good. And that drastically will lower the entry barrier for you. Videos are still manual. AI models aren't really there yet. But here's the problem. Most sellers stop at images and videos once they are launching a product. So that, in my opinion, that's a mistake. So features like A plus content is getting saturated. Like over 30% of brands are already using it. And I'm not saying it's bad, but it's everyone has it. And obviously shoppers have to scroll down your price from your price tag just to find it. So less than 1% of brands are using 3D models right now, and they sit right at the top of your page as soon as they click on a listing. So my take is that new sellers should actually just study every feature that Amazon offers. And if you're a new seller, like find the gap that your competition is ignoring, whether that's
Mhm.
3D models, whether that's climate pledge or coupons, whatever it is, find the feature they're not using, learn how to use it effectively, and then own the market. I think that's one of the best things I
Yeah.
could say.
That's good advice. Actually, in the last episode, I was just on with Success Mappers, and we actually talked about that and how it used to be that if you just added a really good hero image, you made sales. We started selling supplements, my wife and I, in 2010. And at that time, if you had a picture, you made money because there were text only listings in those days on Amazon. And so it's gotten so sophisticated that each thing that used to be a revolutionary revenue generating thing, like just a really good hero image or really good bullet points or max out the title character, the characters in your title and stuff like that, and keyword stuff it, but naturally. And all of these are now just pieces of the overall puzzle to being a successful brand on Amazon. And I've heard it before, and you're just backing up what I've heard before, is that having 3D renders is going to I think that Amazon is pushing those because you're just filling out it's SEO is what it is. It's SEO. It's search engine
Exactly.
Amazon search engine um, optimization, you know?
Exactly.
So, if anyone's interested in learning more about this, you can go to 3dimages.ai and, what's is there anything that they need to know about or do?
If they want to get a 3D model, yeah, you can visit our website and you can book a call with us. And we're just about to finish the AI tool to just get you these 3D models really, really quickly. So you just type in your product and you can just get one instantly, basically. Yeah, so that's probably the main thing. And yeah, but I'm really accessible. If you want to book a call with me, there's a section on the website for that. And
Awesome. Well, Ganesh, thank you very much for being on the podcast. I mean, I need to take advantage of this ASAP. I can't see a reason to do a 3D render or model of my supplements, but I definitely do see how it would be valuable for someone to zoom in on the ingredients list or the quantity and stuff like that so they can answer a lot of questions really quickly without having to scroll through images. So anything that reduces friction to adding to the cart is a good thing. So from that aspect, I definitely see value in it. But I wouldn't have thought that if I hadn't spoken to you.
yeah, no, of course. I think one thing is, I guess, when Amazon release a new feature, they want to show it off to the world, right? And I think if brands use their features, they get rewarded, right? So it's one of those things. And yeah, even if 3D models don't make sense for your Amazon listing, like logically, to think about the dwell, like what happens if they do click? If they do
Uh-huh.
click, then that dwell time multiplied across thousands and thousands and thousands is massive. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the really cool thing, the insight I'll
Awesome,
leave
dude.
you with.
I love it. All right. Well, Ganesh, thank you so much for being on the show. And for everyone listening, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.